Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Zenith Gymnastic Bodies Puerto Rico. In this series, we're going to be covering how to begin training legs or how to train leg strength. Okay, we're going to be seeing some crossover from our core videos, but essentially all of this holds the same. If you contract a muscle, you develop it. And if you develop a muscle and a joint structure properly, we're going to eliminate the possibility for injury. So as you can see here, and I begin with the squat for this exact same reason. There's a lot of folks who say that having your knee over your toes or passing your toes is bad. Okay, and I want to agree and disagree with them for the following reason. Number one, the way that an injury is defined is very simply a tissue that could not withstand a load. So if you have a piece of skin that can withstand 10 pounds of pressure and you subject it to 8, there's that very, very, very small window that an injury can occur. You're knocking, on Davy Jones's locker on that one. You're asking to get put away. If we have less intensity, we are farther away from the injury window, and we can create positive adaptations from that area. Now, if we have this going on, and instead of just simply squatting at the speed that I am right now, let's say that you're walking up a flight of stairs and you're picking up a box, or you're helping with a move. You're helping someone move and you're taking a sofa up the stairs, and that sofa moves in an unexpected way, and then you make an unexpected adjustment without really thinking about it, because our body is just that awesome. If you exceed your capacity to withstand that load, you're going to have an injury. If you pick up a box too quickly, you're going to have an injury. The only thing that has to occur is reaching this threshold for your tissues, and an injury will occur. So I agree, yes, an injury can occur if your knee tracks over your toe and then you try to forcefully press up, and if your tissues are not properly adapted, you'll break. However, there's very little that's going to happen to your body if you do 5 sets of 10 repetitions of body weight squats versus barbell squats. Because in a barbell squat, see, if I had the barbell right here and gravity is coming down, that would make the center of gravity for the bar somewhere around here, versus doing it without the bar, it's over here. So you see how far away these 2 points are? The injury is going to happen when the balance point shifts. So I'm going to press play, and I want you to look at my lower back. My lower back is going to go from straight to round, from round to straight. So it's when that transition happens that people are going to get injured. And then this is another thing that I don't want you to do. I don't want you to stop midway, because then we're not going to be developing our ankles and our knees. We're just going to be developing our glutes. And if you develop your glutes and you let your knees stay weak and you let your lower back stay weak, that means that you're going to get injured because of your butt being so big. So instead of thinking with our butt, what we're going to do is we're going to develop mobility in all of our ranges. And in developing mobility in all of our ranges, when we do pick up that barbell to get stronger, it's not going to It's not going to make us do a compensation that's going to make us, regret it later. So in this next exercise, you can see that I'm dropping all the way down in the same fashion that I was doing the squat. This exercise is called the Cossack squat. It does a lot of good for our hips. So as you can see, I'm stopping here again at 90 degrees, and I don't want you to do that. Okay? If I had the barbell here on my back and I start getting fatigued with that weight, what's that weight gonna do? That weight is gonna push us down. So if we get pushed down by even a little amount of weight, because if you don't have dominance over your own body weight, you're not going to have dominance over an external weight. So the reason that I don't want you to stop at this position right here is because we want to develop enough mobility and resilience in our tissues, in our lower back, in our butt, in our knees, and in our ankles, so that when the moment does come to either do jumping or do barbell exercises, we don't get injured. Okay, so this is the reason why I don't want you to stop midway on a body weight exercise. We can do that with an external load, but it's not recommended to do it at this stage, because we really want to get that joint resiliency. So here I am demonstrating how to do lunges. Okay, notice how I'm not overextending. And I'm putting my hands on my belly and on my chest so I can stay conscious of just how straight my body is. As you can see, now I'm extending a lot more. My pelvis is facing a different direction. And here we're going to start seeing some of that crossover from core. So if you start to look at this point right here, which is the bottom of my sternum, and then this point right here, which is the front of my pelvis, you're going to see that the distance between these 2 points is increasing. And we don't want these 2 points to increase in distance. What we want is the leg relative to the hip to change position. So that means that the hip is going to stay in the same position and our leg is going to change instead of doing this, because what this is doing is just giving us a illusion of flexibility and mobility. It's just giving us an illusion, and it's also compressing our lower back. Okay, and then the thing that we want to learn how to master at first, at least the mental portion, the mental mastery of exercise, is to simply know we're supposed to begin with the end in mind. So if there's something that you have in mind that you want to work on, you have to train it the way that it's going to be most helpful for you. Because if your goal is to squat really heavy, well, we're going to need to do some lunges so we can make your weaker leg be as strong or stronger than how you started with your strong leg. If you can only lift 20 or 30 less pounds with one leg that you can do with the other, that means that we want to make that weak leg as strong as our strong leg when we started, because obviously the progression of doing exercises is going to make everything become stronger. But if we want to do lunges, we're only going to do so many squats. So our goals are very specific, and we want to begin with the end in mind so we have a proper idea of what to do in our training. So I hope that information was helpful to you. Hopefully you thought that that crossover with core and legs was pretty cool, and it'll give you some understanding on how to get better gains out of your training. So we'll see you in the next episode where we'll be covering hip mobility. Have a nice day, y'all.